right and a lot wrong. The Raw Show with Rick Walker and Taylor Armstrong. Now, here's Rick and Taylor.
Welcome back to the Raw Show. I'm Rick. That's Taylor. Okay, so I got to jump right into it. I've got so many questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First thing, paparazzi. That whole thing. What we got? What have I tried to tell you? What have I talked to you about for decades?
I know. But you know what? You give me a martini and some paparazzi and things are going to go awry. You know that about me. You just need to send a babysitter with me. Maybe a nanny, something along those lines.
You need a manny. Now, John was like right there, but I saw him start to ease away also.
He's learned over the years.
Yeah.
Just leave me standing there by myself.
Yeah.
A fool out of myself. I know.
So you were coming out of what? A restaurant, a party?
Yeah, coming out of Craig's where there's always paparazzi and I should know better.
Right.
I should go to different places in my friend's restaurant and support him.
Yes. Now, So how much drinking is going on?
You know what's interesting about it is I literally had one drink and we hadn't eaten dinner yet. And so I think that was part of the problem. One large drink. No, I really only had one drink. And John and I were like, wait a minute, that was weird. I only had one drink. And that's not much for me.
Yeah, you can usually hold a lot more than
easy.
I mean, is it a big Vegas? One of those big, like what? So what were you drinking?
I had a martini.
And so how long did the interview go on out there? You had like a whole show going on.
Well, here was the problem. We thought our car service was there, and I was just going to hoof it outside and jump into the car and be gone. And then all of a sudden the car wasn't there, so I was stuck. So then, I don't know. I turn it on and then I can't turn it off. I don't know what to say, but I blame the car service.
The car service, that you got to time that much better. I totally agree with that. You got to get that timing. It's got to be out there before you exit, and then just go, hey, on the way. I think that was your plan, right?
That was the plan. And then the plan got foiled. And then I was stuck. And then I have to be overly animated. And then, I think
so do you remember what they were asking you?
Well, no, the one guy was saying, he's like, oh, I Googled her. And I'm like, don't take pictures of me if you're going to have to Google me.
Right.
Okay. So that's a good thing about Orange County is we don't have paparazzi.
Oh, good. And where was that?
That was in LA.
Oh, you just don't go to LA then. You'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just have to stay in hiding in my beach town.
Now, do you get anxiety when this stuff comes out, when you're like, oh gosh, what did I do last night? Oh, outside a restaurant, paparazzi. I put on a little bit of a show. Do you get anxious about that or nervous or for a day even? And then the news cycle kind of winds up and it starts to move away a little bit. But during that moment, how do you feel?
I'm typically like, oh no, what have I done now? But I don't like to recount any of it because I figure whatever I did, it's done. It's in the can, as we say, and I just have to. I think people know that I can be a little wacky, so I'm not sure that it's a big shock to anyone. So I just have to, for a day, I'm probably like, oh, yeah. And then I just go, oh, well, whatever. What's another day in my life?
I love when they grab the screenshots where you're like, it's like, okay. And then they make those the picture of the headline and the, whatever paper.
I know. I do have a very animated facial, different things that I do with my face. I'm very expressive. And so they usually get those pretty good screenshots. The cat meme didn't come out of nowhere.
Right. That's true. I know. I love when they grab the screenshots where you're like, it's like, okay. And then they make those the picture of the headline and the, whatever paper.
I know. I do have a very animated facial, different things that I do with my face. I'm very expressive. And so they usually get those pretty good screenshots. The cat meme didn't come out of nowhere.
Right. That's true. I know pretty soon you're going to have another. It's going to be another meme. I was expecting your meme to start showing up with Trump's mugshot. Not that we want to get off into politics, but I figured there would be some kind of combo crossover meme going on. Have you seen any of those yet?
I haven't, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they've
Yeah.
done so many creative things over the years with the meme that,
Yeah.
I'm sure Trump will be next.
Yeah.
Mugshot.
All
Oh
right.
no.
Let me ask you about some housewife stuff then.
Okay.
I saw Kennedy on the show with her friend, and she looked like my 17-year-old daughters when they're like, okay, as if, I mean, was she like excited to be on? Was it like enough? What did she say about it?
She's funny. I mean, she does it, but she kind of coaxes me a little. Like right before they mic her, before we film, she'll be like, "Yeah, I don't think I want to do it." I'm like, "You're doing it. I have news. You're getting mic'd right now. Okay, like don't let me commit to something and then back out at the last minute." So she's a negotiator. She'll be
Oh,
like, "Okay, well, I'll do it, but then I want this in return. Like, I want to go shopping." I'm like,
oh,
But she waits till the very last minute when they're just about to put a mic on her, and I'm typically already mic'd. And so what am I going to say? Like, no, I'm not taking you shopping. So I have a hot mic moment. No. So I just shake my head and go,
yeah. That's brilliant.
and
That's
do
good.
this.
That's
Yeah.
good negotiating on her part. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, she's good. She's always a negotiator. Kennedy's smart like a fox.
So when we were kids, and the parents or the adults would go, "Hey, this is Billy, go off and play with. This is Robin, go off. This is Susan, go off and play with them." I didn't ever want to go do that, and I felt like that happened on the show. They had that whose kid was it that showed up? That 14-year-old guy or whatever.
Jen Pedrante's son.
Okay, Jen's son, and
Yeah.
then there was like, okay, you guys go. I could just feel Kennedy going, I don't know what to do. Did she feel like she was babysitting him, or what
Well,
was
and so that's why she took her friend Alexis, because when I asked her if she would go, she's like, can you want me to go hang out with some guy I don't even know? And she's like, I'm taking a friend. And I'm like, okay, take a friend then.
yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
good. So
because
they all went
it
and
would have been awkward if the two of them just would have walked off together,
yeah, that would
Shen
be
Sun
weird.
and Kennedy.
Good move. So she went and of course got the kid drunk, right? And then no.
Not true.
Um
But I think they had fun filming,
that's good.
just goofing around. Yeah, it was fun.
Good. Okay, so
It's been fun too. People have been sweet on social media about seeing her, being so small, because they've done some flashbacks and then seeing her now. So it's been cute.
it's cool to see her. I always like Kennedy, even when she like makes up, calls me names and makes up names for me, and just like I one time I came out, and I was at Taylor's house one time, and came out of the kitchen, and Holly was with me, and I'm holding two plates, one for her, one for me. And she goes, "I'm going to call you Combo." And I think she thought all that food was for me. And it might have been. I was like 300 pounds, so it might have been. But ever since that day, and that was like, what, 15 years ago, whatever, maybe not that. She's 17. So it was probably 10 years ago. She, that nickname, like even around my house, is like, "Hey, Combo." Every time I get a plate full of so thanks, Kennedy. Thanks.
Right. I know,
Appreciate
right?
that.
I remember that day very specifically.
Combo. I'm going to call him Combo. All right.
Combo.
So there's so much coming up. We've got. I want to ask you about the shot, the tequila shots. That's a weapon you got to stay away from. First of all, what was that? What did you fell down? Did you hurt yourself? Explain that whole. What did we not see on that show?
If Tamara Judge was chasing you with a gun, you'd run too. Any kind of gun, a tequila gun, water gun, God forbid a gun with bullets, you'd be running too.
Right.
So I rounded the corner, and of course I'm in stilettos, and that just isn't going to go well. So I did have a little fall. I didn't get hurt, but I was a little bit scared. I don't want Tamara running after me.
How many falls have you had? Seriously, let's count them up. I mean, just guess in the last, I don't know, since you've been on Housewives. I don't remember seeing you fall on the show, but I'm sure, I mean, I've been with you when you've fallen down. I don't know how you don't, you're like this big, how you don't break a knee or a bone. Have you ever injured yourself?
I'm pretty resilient. I think the
Yeah.
whole key is to not be in stilettos.
Yeah.
That is just, it's a dangerous combination anyway. And so I get myself in a little bit of trouble. I should start wearing flats.
Yeah, you should. Little
That's never going to
sneakers, little
happen.
pair of sneakers.
That's never going to happen.
Those kind that you slip in, you see the TV commercials, you just kind of slide in. Yeah, you need
If
some
I
of
start
those.
wearing those, you need to come rescue me.
Oh God, no kidding. I will. Unless
Thank you.
unless there's a little sponsorship dollar involved, then then we'll make an exception.
Well, that's true. Everything is an exception with sponsorship dollars.
Right. Okay, so I have a question because I've been in broadcasting for my whole life. And when someone says, don't film this, you can't put this on the TV show. I don't know what happens on reality shows, but Shannon sure said that, and they continued to film from a camera like over there. So what's the rule there, and what can they get away with, and what did they do anything wrong? Like, what goes on there?
I think it's interesting because if you're going to be on a reality show, then you need to be real and you need to show your reality. And I think with my life history, that's pretty evident that my reality was definitely on television. So
Right.
I don't know why people say like you can't film this
Yeah.
because that's not how it works.
Well,
So
I've seen some
there's
people say
really
I think I saw Heather say cameras down, turn the cameras go down, and she wouldn't let him film stuff. And yet Shannon said that, and they continued filming, and then it was on the show last week.
yeah, I've never, to my knowledge, I'm not going to say never. I don't recall a time when I've been like, don't
Yeah,
film me. Maybe once, but it didn't do any good. They just filmed it anyway. So
yeah,
you don't get to call cameras down. I mean,
really.
they try. No, it's not. I mean, that's not the deal. You sign up for reality, then you got to be
Okay.
real.
I just wonder because I've seen Heather do it,
Yeah, Heather does do it,
and they
but they
do.
filmed it anyway.
Oh, well, I guess they filmed that, or we wouldn't know about it, right? So,
Exactly.
is that the thing? Does like when Shannon goes in full heart out and says, "Please, this will ruin my relationship if you put this on the show," and they continue to film it anyway. How do you feel about that? I mean, is that like, do you feel like they have I know they have the right to, but is that a little, is there some room for negotiation in there?
There's no room for negotiation.
They're going to put it on?
Yeah, I mean, if they want it, I mean, it's just
They're
if
like
it's actually
becoming,
happening.
yeah. I mean, I just think they could become kind of buddies with you. Some of these producers are with you so much during the season that, like, can you hook a sister up here and just let me off the hook and not put this on camera? But there's not, have you ever
Well,
experienced that where,
there's so many layers to it though. I mean,
yeah,
because I mean, I mean, you film and it goes just because it was filmed, it still goes to editing. I mean, there's a lot of people and layers involved. So it's not the people that are standing there holding the camera's decision.
so it goes down to, do you think the producer talks to the editor and will say, hey, don't put that part on about Shannon? But they certainly rolled on it. They were filming it for sure. But I don't know. Do they do that at all? Do they ever throw you like a cookie and say, all right, we're going to bail you out and not show this?
If I could get a cookie and get bailed out for everything I've done on television, don't you think I would have done it?
You would have a box of Mimi's cookies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's just, it's not the way it works. And it's really not the way it should work because if you don't want your life and your reality to be on TV, then you shouldn't be on a reality show.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds logical when I say it, but I think a
Right.
lot of people believe when they first go on, and Shannon's such a veteran. I mean, she knows,
Yeah.
but I think people who are new, especially, might believe, oh, I'll just put my best foot forward and just the good me will be shown on TV. And we've all watched enough reality to know that's not how that goes
Yeah.
down.
How did Shannon feel about that? Did she say anything to you after that about like, oh, I can't believe they put that on? Or did she know it was coming?
I think think that she knew that stuff about her relationship was going to come up this season and wasn't
Mm,
thrilled about it, of course, but I think she knew it was coming. Actually didn't seem that upset about it. I talk to Shannon all the time.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're good friends and she didn't seem that upset. I mean, it's complicated though when your relationship is having challenges and it's being filmed at the same time and there's, alcohol involved and
Yeah.
it makes for good TV though.
Yeah, no kidding. It's scary to see. Please don't film this. I mean, she felt just really desperate at the time and like, oh, and they showed it anyway. I'm like, man, that's that's hardcore. I guess you know what you're getting into and what you're doing. Remarkably, I mean, I have not seen much of that with you. Um, where I bet she's like bummed up that they filmed that. You seem to be having a really good season. I mean, until this paparazzi thing happened, but that wasn't on the show. But I
I
mean,
know,
you seem to
right?
be having a pretty good season, and even the show you were on before that, the girls trip.
I had a great time filming Girls Trip, which is really the instigator for me thinking, okay, I really want to do another round of reality TV. And knowing that my life is in such a different place than it was when I was on Beverly Hills, I feel as though it would be good for the viewers to go, oh, wait, there's life after tragedy. So I didn't just fall off the face of the earth and people
Yeah.
just think I'm still in this, horrible state. So it has been a good season and getting to know the girls. It's been different. I feel like it's been a different role for me because I came into an existing cast
Yeah.
versus being on an original cast where the original six of us, we started our problems together and our friendships and everything that we all went through. I mean, there were only five of us that were married. We had divorce in season one, season two, season three. I mean, our lives really did play out in on Beverly Hills. And this with the Orange County cast, I've come into an existing cast that has past problems that I don't know a lot of their history because it's stuff that happened so many years ago. So it was a bit of a catch up season for me to kind of learn why are these two people, why are they at odds or why is there some bad blood there and picking up the pieces a little.
I feel like you almost got another meme with Heather saying, "Oh, you're cute." I mean, that could be used for like responses that people, when you send a meme to somebody on text or something, they're like, "Oh, you're
He's
cute.
so
That's
cute.
cute."
He's so cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I realize now how often I say the word cute because now
Yeah.
every time I say it, I'm reminded of that moment. And so I'll say, oh, that's cute. Oh, you're so cute. And then I can't help but say it over. So it's becoming a little catchphrase.
Yeah. How's your, I want to ask you about a couple of things that still, Heather being one of them, and the reunion that's coming up. We'll talk about Heather in a second, gently. I don't want to like start any fires. But what are you concerned about or worried about or just anxious about as you get closer to taping the reunion?
The reunion is always anxiety provoking. It's interesting because we live it, right? We live the show, we live our
Yeah.
lives, and then we watch it back and we see everything that we didn't know was being said about one another. And then we relive it all again on the reunion. So it's like living it three times.
Ugh.
And right. And so the third time, when everyone knows everything that was said in the confessionals, it's stressful and people come in with really heated emotions and have everyone has a lot to say. I have a lot to say of things that I didn't really understand, as I was saying earlier, all the undercurrents that were going on. And now that I've become friends with the ladies, I know a lot more and have a lot more opinions about some of that, some of the past history. But yeah, the reunion, Shannon is excited about the reunion. She said
Wow.
she loves the reunion. She gets all
Wow.
pumped up for it. So I'm trying to turn that around. Instead of feeling anxiety about it, I'm trying to think like this is an opportunity to actually speak my mind and say what I really wanted to say or what was edited out that gives the story more layers if
Yeah.
people know more about the backstory and what was going on. So
What
thinking of it as an opportunity.
Yeah. What is there something specific you can point to that you're really nervous about that needs to play out that you need to get out there?
Well, Heather and I always have had a nice relationship, and we were, just always friendly, hi bye friends. We'd see each other out, and so I was shocked of all the people that I thought I would have any challenges with. I never thought it would be Heather in a million years, and so we have some explaining to do to one another on the reunion and trying to sort out our differences on what happened that became so much of a bigger deal than I thought it would be.
Yeah. So can you explain the movie situation for everyone? Like what just it seems like I'll set this up and say it seems to me like you were in a movie, ask her if she would want to be in it with you, be kind of friendly. If so, you would hand it off and it would get buttoned up by the like typical producers, directors, casting directors, all that stuff. But actors ask other actors and talk to other actors all the time about stuff like that. And then it gets handed off if there's a willingness. So am I right so far? Is that, and then it seems like she was going to help you. She got an acting coach. You did the movie, but I felt like somewhere in that process, she decided, oh, Taylor's the lead in a movie, and I'm not going to be in some movie where she's the lead. I don't know. Was that the misunderstanding? Because I just don't see where that went off the rails. I feel like you were like being kind and generous. And by the way, your movie is like the first one is done. The second one you've already shot some of, and they're both really good. But I mean, is that kind of the story? And where did that go off the rails?
I think that's what we're going to have to talk about on the reunion because I don't really understand how it went so far off the rails either. I actually thought it was a compliment and to say, hey, I know there's a role available and you'd be great for it. And I was just, I thought helping an actor out and saying there's a job opening and I think
Yeah.
you'd be great. And I don't understand how that got twisted around into something negative. So we're going to have to figure that out on the reunion.
You said that you told her that she would have to do a self tape or an audition tape. What is wrong with that? I mean, you did that. Maybe I don't
Yes.
understand why was such a rub for her.
Yeah, I don't either. I think that that's pretty industry standard to
Yeah.
have to audition for a role. So again, I don't really understand how I upset her so badly with the whole thing. And I, we're gonna have to talk about it because there's a lot of
Yeah.
clarifying to do.
Okay, IMDb. What was your thing? I am that bitch. Is that the new?
I know,
That's
so silly.
nice. Nicely
I
done.
know. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that is an actor's resume, so I
Yeah.
think it's
So
something to
you
be
guys are
proud.
looking at her IMDb. Talk about as little of this as you feel comfortable or as much as you want. But um, I don't think anything dishonest was done there. When you and Tamara are looking at her IMDb and it's like, this is what she's done. And nothing, I don't see anything recent. I don't think you guys did either. But again, what's the infraction there? I don't understand what the big controversy was.
I don't either. And that's something that I look forward to asking her because it really is an actor's resume. So if that's what's out there, I'm not digging for negative things about her. It's just like, okay, here's the IMDb. And I didn't even look at her IMDb until the producers had said to me that they had looked at the IMDb. And I'm like, okay, well, let me look at it too. And Tamara said, well, let's look at it. And that was the first time I had seen it.
And Tamara said, inadvertently, since the 1900s, meaning the 1990s, but still, it's pretty funny.
And she was like, isn't the 1900s the 1990s? Isn't that the 1900s?
Yeah, I mean, you can
Camera.
make a case for that, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, um,
She's maybe not a historian, but that's okay.
right. Now, what about since then? That seems to have cooled off. It keeps coming up. I keep seeing like it's on different news sites and websites and entertainment blogs and stuff. It continues to live, this movie, Guardians and Masterpiece that you're in. And it says the Jenny actress, Heather Dubrow, which is, I guess, a TV show she was in the 1990s. But that's what it keeps saying. Is that something that she puts out there to keep like, look, I've done some stuff too, kind of thing? Or why does that keep coming up?
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So I don't
It's
know.
okay. All right. So how's your relationship? Obviously, you taped a lot of shows since then, and some of them have aired. It seems like you guys are just working around each other now on the shows that have aired. How's your relationship today?
With Heather?
Mm,
I haven't seen her since we stopped filming. I see Tamara and Shannon. I was with Jen the other day, Jen and Pedranti. Um, and I had lunch with Emily and Tamara. So I see the girls. I haven't seen Gina since we saw each other at a holiday dinner. Actually, Heather was there too. And but other than that, I haven't seen the other girls. But Tamara, Shannon, Vicky, Jen.
yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, we have a
So
good
last thing
relationship.
about
So the
Heather.
reunion will be the first time I'm going to have seen her.
Okay. Last thing about Heather, and I want to ask you about Jen also. Your Oklahoma gal. Last thing about Heather is that you made a comment on Jeff Lewis about it was unprofessional of her not to invite you to a party. That now seems to have taken on a little bit of a life, and she continues to comment on that. What is do you feel like that was unprofessional since you guys quote kind of work together? At least you're in the same arena here on this TV show. And then why has she been out of shape about that? I mean, do you still stick by that? Was it unprofessional?
I feel like if you are having a party and you're going to invite like part of your office, that you should invite everyone at your office. I just think that
Yeah.
it's unprofessional and it's not something I would do. I would include everyone and then let people make their decision based on our current relationship status, whether they want to come or not. I just think that the proper etiquette thing to do, which she's really big on etiquette, would be to invite everyone. It's like not inviting like two girls in your kindergarten class to your birthday. I thought it was unprofessional and actually just poor etiquette not to include all of us.
And what was her reason for not inviting you?
I haven't heard a reason.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
stay tuned.
Yeah. BravoCon is coming up. Are you going to see her there?
Yes. But I'll see
Yeah.
you at the reunion first. Reunion's coming up. And
Okay.
then BravoCon. Yeah, we'll all be together, which it's going to be in
Wow.
Vegas this year. So we thought New York was wild. Vegas should be crazy.
I'm gonna have to be when you say I just had one drink, it's gonna be one of those Vegas strip drinks, fluorescent.
Oh no. Oh no, it's not Rick Walker.
Oh my God.
That's not happening.
Okay,
BravoCon
so
is such
are you is it bad timing or good timing that the reunions first and then BravoCon? Because everybody's gonna be pissed at everybody now. Just in time for
yeah.
BravoCon.
I know, right? And then we're going to be on panels together, and yeah, our timing is pretty uncanny that we're going to all be together September, and then I guess we'll get a month of reprieve before we see each other at BravoCon.
Yeah. So when you leave a reunion, you've done them in the past. When you leave a reunion, are things resolved or do you leave like really butthurt and your feelings are hurt and pissed off at people? Does it get worse, better, or the same?
Um, I think a lot of times you leave feeling worse. I'm hoping that there'll be some resolution on a couple of topics in the group on this
Yeah.
reunion. I think it's possible. But then there's some things that there's so much history there that even though maybe you resolve it to some extent, there's still bad blood there that probably will never go away. There's just some things you can't take back.
Yeah. Wow. Um, do you still have some of those from like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or any of those relationships that you had? Do you still have some wounds that never healed from episodes, relationships, or reunions?
I would say, although she has apologized to me quite extensively, having Camille out my abuse on camera on Beverly Hills was something that no one could ever take back and was completely life-changing for me.
Yeah.
And that will always hurt me.
Is that where the meme came from?
That is where the meme came from. It was actually an episode right after that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so tequila shots with a gun. Have you ever seen one of those before, by the way? The big giant gun they were shooting tequila.
No.
I've never seen one of those. What a great idea. Not for
I
you,
know.
but a great
I know.
idea.
Well, I think it was actually just a regular water gun.
Oh, okay.
But leave it to Shannon. Of course, we got to fill it up with tequila.
Well,
My
listen, we should
little
get with
tequila.
Shannon and you and Tamara, and let's put together tequila shot and market those. I mean, it's just a water gun, but it's just put a little label on it.
Right? You know, the Trace Amigas should do it.
Yeah. Oh, no
Yeah, they should
kidding.
have a Trace Amigas gun. We had so much fun at the Improv last time they performed. It was great.
Yeah, so Vicky's there
They're
too at those things when they do the improv things. And how is not on stage and on the show and everything, but how has it been filming with her and have you gotten to know her? Have you even filmed with her that much? I don't think she's on that much this season.
Yeah, but I knew Vicky prior to
Okay.
going on Orange County. So yeah, I mean, well, we did Ultimate Girls Trip together too. And
Oh, right.
she didn't have a great trip on Ultimate Girls because she had just a lot of stuff going on in her personal life. So she didn't get to be like the whoop it up fun Vicky.
Right.
But yeah, but we have fun. It was funny because I was at Shannon's and it was Tamara, Shannon, Vicky, and me, and they were practicing for Trace Amigas before the first show, and they were singing their little song that Shannon wrote, and they're just horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm videoing them, and I was like, "You guys are horrible. Just so you know, you're horrible." But it wouldn't be funny if they were great,
Right.
you know.
It's better that they're horrible. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. And they're
No,
so cute in their little sombreros and these outfits they come on. They're great. They're really fun to watch.
the audience responded well, I assume.
The audience loved it. Absolutely.
I don't think
And
they
Jeff
would be
Lewis,
there. Who would go if you weren't into it and it being funny? So
yeah, they did a ton of they filmed some footage that was off stage, some behind the scenes kind of stuff that's really funny. And Jeff Lewis was there with me. We sat together and we had a lot of good laughs with them.
yeah, you had a good episode with Jeff. I heard the podcast a couple of weeks ago. I don't know, but I thought that went well.
Yeah,
So
he's great.
yeah, I love Jeff. So let me ask you about your Oklahoma connection on Real Housewives of Orange County, Jen. What what have you learned about that relationship there? And well, first of all, how are you and do you guys get along? Is it because you're Okies or is that just kind of like, oh God, eye roll? And then what's going on with her relationship?
So Jen and I hit it off immediately. There was a lunch that we filmed at my house. It didn't end up making the air, but that's the first time I met her and got to hear her story. And I just thought, this woman's like Mother Teresa. I mean, she adopts children, she fosters animals. She's just this amazing humanitarian, and I fell in love with her instantly. She definitely has that Midwestern, just sweet and really great values. And my goodness, she got that girl got run over this season. I have to applaud her for being able to keep her head up and get through it because not it's stressful enough to be, your rookie season, but then your whole relationship exploding on camera and all of her personal life. I mean, people usually get to ease into it a little bit, but I mean, that dump truck backed up and just poured it all over this season. And I was proud of her. She's strong to be able to get through all of that, especially, she's also managing a house full of kids and, her own personal life. But yeah, we hit it off immediately. I was just with her not long ago, and she and Ryan are doing great. They have been able to weather this storm, and maybe in some ways it's made them stronger
Hmm.
because they've had to, rely on each other and really bond in order to get through it because I don't think a lot of couples would.
Well, we'll talk about on the next episode of this show. We'll talk more about what's going on currently on the show and a couple of other Bravo shows and stuff too. I just wanted to get all. There's so many questions going on about what's going on with you and everything right now. So I wanted to get the stuff out about your movies and your paparazzi show that you should take that on the road. I mean, take that to Vegas with you. Bravo, good shtick. You just. Yeah.
Rick, I'm really like to just perform new material once, then
Yeah.
I let it go.
Yeah.
I can't really repeat
That's a good
I
idea.
can't repeat that talented exhibition I put on there. But it is also fun because I'm starting to get my schedule for BravoCon, and I look forward to seeing all the people from the other shows. So that was really fun last year, getting to see the Beverly Hills Girls, and
Yeah.
then getting to meet the people from Below Deck. And so I'm starting to get my schedule and seeing who I'm going to be paired up with on things.
And when is it?
It it is November 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Wow. Did it wear
I
you
know.
out last time? Is it an exhausting 3 days?
It is. The days are really long. And then the fun part about it is all the Bravo people, we all stay in the same hotel. So after the day is done, we all get to spend time together and have lots more fun. So that adds some additional hours to the day for sure.
I think we covered everything.
All right, good. Podcast out.
Yeah. Possibly we'll connect back up again here in just a few days and catch up. Maybe let's get another episode on Bravo TV under our belt of Real Housewives of Orange County, and then we'll come back and we can legally talk about that and stuff. All right, sister. Good to see you.
All right, good to see you. Talk to you later.
The Raw Show with Rick and Taylor.